Did you know that behind the glamorous facade of old Hollywood, some of the most beloved actresses were living lives of chaos, addiction, and rebellion? The polished images you saw on screen often hid dark realities that would shock today's audiences. How did these icons manage such perfect public personas while their private lives spiraled so dramatically out of control? Let's peek behind the curtain of Hollywood's golden age and discover the truth. 1. Judy Garland. Judy Garland began her journey to stardom as a 13-year-old singing sensation with a voice that could melt hearts. But the sweet girl who skipped down the yellow brick road was hiding tremendous pain. Studio executives at MGM were ruthlessly controlling, forcing her to take pep pills to maintain energy during grueling shoots that often lasted 18 hours a day. These amphetamines were paired with sleeping pills at night, creating a dangerous cycle of addiction that started before she was even old enough to drive. When filming The Wizard of Oz, MGM executives relentlessly body-shamed the teenage Garland, putting her on extreme diets that included nothing but chicken soup, black coffee, and cigarettes. Studio managers obsessively tracked her eating habits, sending memos when she gained weight and demanding costume adjustments. One executive cruelly told her she looked like a fat little pig with pigtails. This treatment pushed young Judy into patterns of starving and binging that would plague her for life. At just 18, Judy married songwriter David Rose, only to have MGM arrange an abortion when she became pregnant. The studio insisted a baby would destroy her innocent image. This traumatic experience, combined with her growing dependence on pharmaceuticals, sent Garland into a tailspin of self-destruction that would follow her throughout her life. Despite her incredible talent, she struggled with reliability on set, often arriving late or missing filming altogether as her addiction worsened. 2. Tallula Bankhead. Tallula Bankhead shocked even the most jaded Hollywood insiders with her wild behavior and complete disregard for social norms. Born into a prestigious political family, her father would become Speaker of the House. Bankhead rebelled against her proper upbringing in spectacular fashion. With her trademark husky voice and razor-sharp wit, she blazed a trail of scandal wherever she went, openly discussing her drug use and sexual exploits in an era when such topics were strictly taboo. Bankhead proudly proclaimed her bisexuality long before it was acceptable, boasting about affairs with both men and women. She famously accepted a film role in Devil and the Deep, simply because she wanted to seduce her co-star, Gary Cooper. Her list of lovers reportedly included Greta Garbo, Marlene Dietrich, and numerous other Hollywood stars. At one point, she claimed to have slept with more than 5,000 people, making no attempt to hide her adventures from the press or public. Her substance abuse was equally notorious. Bankhead reportedly smoked 120 cigarettes a day and used cocaine regularly, insisting it wasn't addictive, despite evidence to the contrary. By the end of her career, she was taking a cocktail of powerful drugs every night to sleep, then more stimulants during the day to function. When the Hays Commission included her in their doom book of morally unsuitable performers, Bankhead's response was characteristically defiant rather than apologetic. 3. Jean Harlo. Jean Harlo, the original blonde bombshell, found herself under MGM's thumb when she became pregnant during an affair with actor William Powell at age 18. The studio quickly arranged for her to enter a hospital under a false name for a secret abortion. Her own mother coldly remarked, "A child could wait. Her career could not." This callous attitude reflected the studio system's view of pregnancy as an inconvenience rather than a life-changing event. Harlo's platinum blonde hair, achieved through painful weekly treatments with harsh chemicals including bleach, ammonia, and lye, became her trademark, but took a devastating toll on her health. The toxic mixture caused severe burns on her scalp and eventually made her hair fall out in clumps. Yet studio executives insisted she maintain the look, despite the physical damage it caused. This neglect of her well-being was typical of how studios treated their female stars as commodities rather than human beings. Taverta, Lana Turner. Lana Turner's glamorous image was shattered in 1958 when her 14-year-old daughter Cheryl Crane stabbed and killed Turner's boyfriend, mobster Johnny Stompanato. The violent incident exposed Turner's tumultuous private life and dangerous relationships to a shocked public. When Crane claimed she had killed Stompanato to protect her mother from his threats and abuse, the resulting trial became a media circus, with Turner tearfully taking the stand, while reporters and the public speculated wildly about what really happened. The court eventually ruled the killing a justifiable homicide, but the scandal permanently altered Turner's carefully crafted star image. Behind the scenes, her life had long been chaotic, with 7 marriages and numerous violent relationships that belied her carefully cultivated screen persona. The Stompanato incident revealed just how far removed her real life was from the romantic heroines she portrayed on screen. 5. Frances Farmer. Frances Farmer began as a promising young actress with striking beauty and undeniable talent, but her refusal to play by Hollywood's rules quickly made her an industry outcast. Unwilling to wear makeup or attend promotional events, she openly criticized the studio system that treated actors like puppets. Her rebellious behavior and heavy drinking alienated directors and co-stars alike, setting her on a collision course with the powerful studio heads who controlled her career. As her professional opportunities dried up, Farmer's mental health deteriorated dramatically. In 1943, after several public disturbances and arrests, she was committed to a mental institution where she would spend years subjected to horrific treatments, including electric shock therapy. Whether she actually suffered from mental illness or was simply being punished for her defiance of Hollywood norms remains a subject of debate. What's certain is that the once promising star was effectively erased from the industry that had built her up. Elizabeth Taylor's tempestuous relationship with Richard Burton scandalized America in the early 1960s. Both were married to others when they began a torrid affair during the filming of Cleopatra. Their behavior was so brazen that the Vatican publicly condemned Taylor for erotic vagrancy. Despite the backlash, Taylor refused to hide her feelings, eventually divorcing Eddie Fisher to marry Burton, the first of their 2 marriages to each other. Taylor's personal life was as dramatic as any film she starred in. Married 8 times to 7 different men, she lived life on her own terms, despite constant scrutiny. Her struggles with alcohol, prescription medications, and weight fluctuations played out in the public eye, yet she maintained her status as one of Hollywood's most magnetic stars. Unlike many contemporaries who were destroyed by scandal, Taylor's career and popularity seemed to thrive on controversy. 6. Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe's tragic story exemplifies how the studio system could build a star up while simultaneously breaking her down. Born Norma Jean Mortensen, she was transformed by Hollywood into the ultimate sex symbol, but the pressure of maintaining her bombshell image took a devastating toll. Monroe struggled with chronic insomnia, leading to increasing dependence on barbiturates and alcohol. Studio executives encouraged her drug use when it helped her perform, but criticized her when it caused delays. Behind her breathy voice and seductive smile, Monroe battled profound insecurity and depression. Despite being one of the world's most famous women, she felt deeply misunderstood and typecast. Her mysterious death at 36, officially ruled a probable suicide from barbiturate overdose, came after years of emotional turmoil and failed relationships. While conspiracy theories abound about her final hours, what's clear is that the woman who appeared to have everything was privately drowning in despair. 7. Joan Crawford. Joan Crawford's fearsome reputation was cemented in her daughter Christina's tell-all memoir, Mommy Dearest, which painted the Oscar winner as an abusive alcoholic with explosive rage issues. While some have questioned the book's accuracy, Crawford's struggles with alcohol were well documented throughout her career. Behind the scenes, she was known for unpredictable behavior and fierce competitiveness, particularly with rival Bette Davis. Crawford's perfectionism extended to her appearance, with obsessive beauty rituals that included dunking her face in ice water 25 times each morning and scrubbing her skin with abrasive brushes until it bled. As she aged, her determination to maintain her youthful appearance led to increasingly drastic measures. Yet despite her personal demons, Crawford's iron will kept her career alive long after many contemporaries had faded from view. 8. Dorothy Dandridge. Dorothy Dandridge made history as the first black woman nominated for a Best Actress Oscar, but her groundbreaking success came with tremendous personal cost. Despite her talent and beauty, Dandridge faced relentless discrimination that limited her career options and took a psychological toll. She struggled with depression and alcohol as she fought against a system that offered few meaningful roles for black actresses, no matter how talented they were. Financial exploitation by managers left Dandridge nearly bankrupt despite her success. When she became pregnant during an affair with director Otto Preminger, studio pressure led to an abortion she didn't want. Like many actresses of the era, her reproductive choices were controlled by studio executives concerned only with her bankability, not her well-being. Her death at 42 from an antidepressant overdose cut short a pioneering career that opened doors for future generations. 9. Vivien Lee. Vivien Lee captivated audiences as Scarlett O'Hara in Gone with the Wind, but off-screen she battled bipolar disorder during an era when mental illness was poorly understood and heavily stigmatized. Her dramatic mood swings ranged from feverish creativity to crushing depression, often accompanied by erratic behavior that damaged her professional reputation. During manic episodes, she would sometimes disappear for days or make grandiose, impulsive decisions. Lee's tumultuous marriage to Laurence Olivier was strained by her unpredictable behavior and his lack of understanding about her condition. As her mental health deteriorated, she self-medicated with alcohol and became increasingly unreliable on set. Despite winning 2 Best Actress Oscars, directors became reluctant to cast her as her condition worsened. Her brilliant career was repeatedly interrupted by hospitalizations and treatments that included electroconvulsive therapy, which was standard but damaging treatment at the time. Rita Hayworth. Rita Hayworth summed up the disconnect between her public and private personas with her famous quote, "Men go to bed with Gilda, but wake up with me." The studio system transformed shy Margarita Cancino into sex symbol Rita Hayworth through painful electrolysis to raise her hairline and dye treatments to change her natural black hair to auburn. While audiences fell in love with the resulting image, Hayworth herself felt increasingly alienated from her public persona. Behind the glamorous facade, Hayworth's life was marked by failed marriages, including high-profile unions with Orson Welles and Prince Ali Khan. As her career declined, she turned increasingly to alcohol, unaware that her mounting memory problems and mood changes were early symptoms of Alzheimer's disease. For years, her erratic behavior was attributed to alcoholism rather than the neurological condition that would eventually be diagnosed. On Ava Gardner. Ava Gardner's stunning beauty made her an instant star, but her rebellious spirit and refusal to conform to studio expectations made her a headache for MGM executives. She drank heavily, swore liberally, and conducted very public affairs, including with married men. Her tempestuous relationships, particularly her marriage to Frank Sinatra, kept her in the headlines for reasons that had nothing to do with her acting talent. Gardner made no apologies for her behavior, once telling a reporter, "I'm not the marrying kind." When she became pregnant during her career, she chose abortion rather than motherhood, later revealing in her autobiography that MGM had all sorts of penalty clauses about their stars having babies. Her forthright attitude about her choices was revolutionary in an era when such matters were shrouded in secrecy and shame. 12th, Gloria Graham. Gloria Graham's career imploded following one of Hollywood's most shocking scandals. After divorcing director Nicholas Ray, she later married his son, her former stepson, creating a scandal that even Hollywood couldn't overlook. The relationship allegedly began when the younger Ray was only 13 years old, though the marriage didn't occur until years later. This transgressive relationship effectively ended her career in mainstream films, despite her undeniable talent and earlier Oscar win. Before this career-ending scandal, Graham had been known for her distinctive sensuality on screen in films like The Big Heat and Oklahoma. She was also notorious for her obsession with her appearance, particularly her upper lip, which she stuffed with cotton to achieve a fuller look. Later, botched plastic surgery permanently damaged her appearance, adding to her professional struggles. 13. Ingrid Bergman. Ingrid Bergman's affair with director Roberto Rossellini, while both were married to others, created an unprecedented scandal in 1950. The backlash was so severe that Bergman was denounced on the floor of the U.S. Senate as a powerful influence for evil, and received hate mail calling her a dirty prostitute. Theaters refused to show her films, and she was effectively exiled from Hollywood for several years. The intensity of the public's reaction reveals the impossible standards placed on female stars of the era. While male actors routinely engaged in extramarital affairs with minimal consequences, Bergman's transgression, especially after playing virtuous characters like a nun in The Bells of St. Mary's, was deemed unforgivable. She eventually returned to Hollywood and rebuilt her career, but the episode demonstrated how quickly public adoration could turn to vicious condemnation. The stories of these 15 actresses reveal the dark side of Hollywood's golden age. Behind the perfect makeup and glamorous gowns were women fighting battles against addiction, mental illness, studio control, and their own demons. Many were victims of a system that built them up while simultaneously breaking them down, treating them as products rather than people with needs and feelings. Today's celebrity culture certainly has its problems, but at least modern stars have more control over their careers and bodies than these women did. The next time you watch a classic film, remember the real women behind those perfect images. Complicated, flawed, and often struggling against forces beyond their control. Their talents lit up the silver screen, but for many, the spotlight cast long, dark shadows over their troubled lives. Did you enjoy this look behind Hollywood's carefully constructed facade? If you found these stories fascinating, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more hidden histories of the entertainment world. Leave a comment letting us know which old Hollywood scandal surprised you the most. There are plenty more stories where these came from.